Vallecano, it's a good night.
Yes, it is, and this is a perfect way for Atleti to be heading into the weekend's game. They are welcoming Real Madrid to the Metropolitano as we welcome in Luis Garcia. And we'll get to what we saw from Julian Alvarez in just a moment, but what a crazy game to start, Luis.
Yeah, it was, and we saw a good Atletico Madrid actually in the second half. Very well in the first 15 minutes on the second half. More intensity, a lot more movement, and more creativity in the last third. And we went back to the beginning, where they allowed once again Rayo Vallecano to start getting bigger into the game, to believing that they could get something, and they found that fantastic goal to go ahead. And then you saw the reaction. The difference between these two teams, of course, is what you got on the bench. Simeone started bringing players into the second half that they made a straight impact with fantastic runs from Julian on the right side, Julian and Nico in the left side. So these kind of players that they are top talented and world-class players make the difference in the whole second half. We are going to have a spot on, of course, the spotlight on Julian Alvarez. It was the one who scored the goals. But overall, I think it was a good performance of Atletico Madrid. Rayo Vallecano did their part. And we talked about the maybe half could scratch 1 point, but in the end, it was 3 good points for Atletico Madrid.
We saw the reaction in the last game from Julian Alvarez. Always me, when he got subbed off. This was quite the reaction from him today.
Yeah, so we came into the match talking about Julian Alvarez, and we go out of this match talking about Julian Alvarez. Now, for two very different reasons. And he was clearly upset about coming off the field last weekend, but I think he was clearly upset about the fact that he had missed a penalty. And then coming off the field was a kick that he was in the backside that he didn't want any part of. We saw some of the hold-up play and little 1-2s and give and goes that he had in the first half. We saw the whole spectrum of Julian Alvarez, and then he closed that down and rounded up the performance with a hat-trick, and what a hat-trick it was, coming into his left foot and hitting the shot that he did. Now, to your point, Stevie, Rayo Vallecano could have done a better job of closing down the best player on the field, and that is Julian Alvarez. But never mind. Julian Alvarez essentially said, I am your guy. And if I'm Diego Simeone, that's exactly what I wanted him to tell me. You are my guy, and I want you to be on the field, but you got to give me this. You got to show me this, and show me this consistently, that we can lean on you to score the important goals. Now, some would say, not me, but some out there would suggest, if Alexander Sørloth had been available and not been red carded as he was against Mallorca and not suspended for today's matches, would Julian Alvarez had stayed on the field? We'll never know the answer to that. But what we do know is that him staying on the field means a hat-trick, and that hat-trick means 3 points. Necessary, vital, crucial, huge, gigantic 3 points for Atletico Madrid.
Absolutely, especially with who's next up, Stevie. It's Real Madrid next. Their backs were against the wall today. They came out on top. They really needed it, given the way the season's gone. Yep. You wonder if it could be a turning point, but then you see who does come to visit next.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, the top dogs are coming, and they cannot afford to let them get away with anything, because if they do, then the chances of them coming back are pretty slim. At the same time, when you've got Julian Alvarez on your side, there's always that chance that he will come back. And we saw it again today. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I don't understand why Julian Alvarez ever gets substituted and why Julian Alvarez ever is not in the starting 11.
Because it's always him.
Well, it's always him. I mean, to me, Alvarez is what Griezmann used to be 4, 5, 6 years ago when he was Atletico Madrid. In my eyes, it's now Julian Alvarez is the man that should wear the crown. And it should be Julian Alvarez and 10 others. So I don't care if you've got Sørloth. I don't care who you've got. This guy should not be sitting on the bench at any stage, unless you really, really need to give him a rest. I don't understand Simeone at all. Because what's going on behind Julian Alvarez, not just for this season, but certainly last season, is struggling big time. I think he needs to think more about what's going on behind Julian Alvarez, as opposed to taking him off and try to suggest that he's not doing his job.
Is Stevie right, Luis?
I can agree, and a lot, because he's your best player. Simeone mentioned it, and normally to your best player you have to kind of comfort him and play around him and bring the best players around him. If you have to replace, because he's the player who is more clinical. He's the player who arrived in the better position. He's the player who linked better with the other teammates. And you've seen that because he proved it last year. And now because he started maybe a slow moment or he's not bringing the best of him, you need to allow him to build on the season. It's true that there are going to be a lot of games and you need him sharp, you need him fresh. And of course the derby is coming on, the Champions League is coming on, and at some points it's better maybe to move it on from the pitch and allow him to rest for those 20-30 minutes extra. But I can agree with him that if you have your best player on the field, you are always going to have more chances. And right now Atletico Madrid need all the chances that Julian Alvarez can have.
It's a very Simeone thing that when a player stands out above the group, that his natural reaction is to highlight the group as the most important thing. What I would say if I were Diego Simeone is, let me strengthen the group, but if we have this guy that can stand above the group because he can give us something that nobody else in this group can give us, then let him be. Let him flow. Let him do the things that make him a special player. And to your point, Stevie, he cannot do those special things if he's sitting right next to you on the bench. Yeah. And so I think it goes against Diego Simeone allowing somebody to stand out above the strength of the group. Because the strength of Atletico Madrid under Diego Simeone has always been the group, the fight, the grind. Let Julian Alvarez do the grind, the fight, the group, but let him add something special. You need a little sparkle. You need something magic. It's going to come from him more than it is from Giuliano Simeone, more than it is from Conor Gallagher, more than it is from Nico Gonzalez. It's going to come from somebody. It's going to have to be Julian Alvarez. Let him be.
There are injured players coming back to fitness right now as well, Luis. Can you see this result as a turning point, despite what happens in the derby on Saturday for Atleti?
But it depends a lot on what is going to happen on the derby on Saturday. Of course, having players and rotations and all the games that they got in front for Atletico Madrid is not only about what is going to happen next. It's about what is going to happen at the weekend. If at the weekend you lose against Real Madrid, the gap is going to be huge. No chance for you even to dream to fight for La Liga. And then once again, the mentality is to get in the top four. If you win, if you reach or close the gap for 6 points, maybe you can think that it's still a long way to go. But thinking about that big gap in between the two of you, it depends what can they do at the weekend, what is going to happen with Atletico Madrid for the next coming months.
I don't know if this matters too much now, but just because these moments did happen in the game, I wanted to ask you about the fact that Koke stayed on the pitch and could have found himself in trouble. We saw the same with Llorente as well a little later on. Is that a concern for you, or does it all just go by the wayside once there's a win like this?
It's not a surprise, is it? It's kind of what Atletico Madrid are, and it comes from the guy at the top. I mean, it's a typical Simeone type of reaction from his players on the field. He does it on the sideline. He does it on the field. He's running on the field as well at times. So it's not a surprise when that happens. The biggest surprise is that you've got VAR and you've got a guy in Koke grabbing the other opposition goalie by the throat and nothing happens. Go figure.
And we just saw an example of something similar, not quite, but something similar with Dani Carvajal in Champions League, where there is is it a headbutt? Is it a nudge? Is this? A goalkeeper goes down or a defender goes down, whatever the case may have been, and now it's, well, obviously a red card. Well, what is the difference between the nudge of the head to the other forehead or the other player's forehead to basically grabbing somebody by the neck? Is that when it comes to ranking things, that's better? So we'll take the sort of mini headbutt, and that's a red card, but grabbing somebody by the neck and choking them, that's not it. And also, the Llorente one, as he's doing this, on the turn, there's a little one of these.
Nice little dig.
And I get you're allowed to punch people. Is that? I suppose I just don't quite understand in this particular sequences, why the system that is in place, the same system that allowed Rayo Vallecano to score the goal, rightfully so, because Alvaro Garcia was clearly in an offside position, and we like VAR when they get involved and make the correct call. I don't understand how they're able to see somebody's hand in another player's neck, and that's okay. Or they see somebody doing this, and that's okay. I don't know. I don't understand it.
If I may, because it's the exact opposite of your kind of range, it's actually the longest goal scored in La Liga in the past 3 seasons. Can we talk about Pep Cheveria's goal in this? Because that was spectacular.
Perfect execution, beautiful goal. Too bad it didn't count for anything for Rayo Vallecano.
No, I'm sure it will make the top 10 lists, though. At least here on ESPN FC, probably in La Liga for this season as well. So at least there's that, okay. Yeah. Here are the top 5 results in the Ballon d'Or. Obviously, Ousmane Dembele, the winner. Behind him, Lamine Yamal, Vitinha, Mohamed Salah, and Rafinha. But Lamine Yamal's father is a little bit upset with where Lamine finished. He said, I think this is the biggest, I won't say theft, but moral damage done to a human being, because I believe Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world by far, by a huge margin. All right, Stevie, your thoughts?
And he knows this how? What sort of expertise has this guy got other than he gave? He's 50%. He's 50%. Because of him, 50% of Lamine Yamal is his.
Right.
Is that his qualification?
I was wondering where the biological explanation was going to go.
I couldn't think of a nice way of putting it. I mean, seriously. And Lamine Yamal has to turn around, even though it's his dad, and say, Dad, do us a favour, button it. Mm-hmm. You're making yourself and me look stupid.
I mean, he might
because that's what it is. He's making him look stupid. I mean, give us a break. Just be quiet. It's incredible.
Look, I've been here on the show, and I think Luis was as well. Prior to the vote or prior to the ceremony, I said that I would give it to Lamine Yamal. Having said that, if I were Lamine Yamal's father, even if I were disappointed that he didn't win, just the fact that you are in this environment, just think about this.
Happy.
My kid is 18 years old, and we're here in the Ballon d'Or ceremony, and my kid is one of the finalists and could potentially win it tonight. Why can you not just enjoy that? Get to a moment in which very few people get to in the history of this game. And at 18 years old, he's right there. He's right there, very close to winning it. I don't understand why people just lose perspective like this, and why you're not able to see a much bigger picture. Mm. If indeed his father is right and Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world, isn't that a reason to celebrate? Not a reason to complain. It couldn't possibly be a reason to complain. Celebrate that your kid is the best player in the world. Instead of making this night about your son, you're making it about yourself. Yeah. And that is a disservice to your son, and it's a disservice to the award itself. I'm
just smiling at Luis Garcia, laughing at Stevie's description of Lamine Yamal's dad being 50%.
I had other things going on in my head.
We'll explain to him how it works, Luis.
That's one way to put it, Luis, right?
It's a way of putting it. I think that Alexis yesterday was talking also the same way and make a fantastic spot. If you've been here in Spain and you know a little bit the surrounding of Lamine Yamal, we are used to kind of headlights from his father. I understand that it's difficult to understand from outside, but it's the situation it is, and he's the father of the kid. And we have to respect the way he expresses himself, the way he complains about this trophy. And I agree with Ale. Sometimes when you are right there, you have to be grateful to be just there, because it's not many people who have the chances just to not even being considered to be one of the best players in the world. We'll see one day lift the trophy to Lamine Yamal. Maybe not yet, but we all know what he did in the past, in the last couple of years since we made that amazing introduction into the football. We have to wait and see it, but we have to just respect the father, the way he's got of expressing himself.
Yeah, okay, nice stuff. Luis, thank you so much for being with us. And I will be talking more La Liga very soon.
And biology, if you need it.
Yes.
And biology, yes. No Lamine Yamal against Real Oviedo, but make sure to join us anyway. There's still plenty of talent on display. Our coverage will begin at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow on Plus and Deportes as we see how Barca fare to Real Oviedo. Arsenal through to the next round. Frank's been blowing up the text message group because even though there was plenty of attacking talent out there, Frank is not happy. He said Arsenal pretty much played like a League One side. Well, he didn't, but he wanted to see more attacking from Arsenal tonight. Would that be fair, Frank?
Yeah, because we expect much more from that team, and what I saw against Manchester City is not for me the outlook of what a team should be if he wants to win the Premier League. Today, I don't know, I didn't watch the game, so I can't say, but winning 2-0 against Port Vale is good enough to go back to London and be happy and see what's going to happen in the next game for Arsenal in the Premier League. But what I saw against Manchester City was very much too much conservative. And having Eze, Martinelli and Saka on the bench, it's impossible for me.
We've got a whole season ahead. It's round 3 of the Carabao Cup. You're up against lower opposition. What do you want to see from an Arsenal team?
Just win the game. Who cares? Nobody cares. And actually, if you look at the 10 subs Arsenal had, they were bona fide starters, as were the 11 they started. It's just, as long as you win this game, nobody cares. They really don't care. The only thing you take from this game is, if I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm going to assume that they were thinking what I was thinking when I saw this starting 11. Did we buy Eze to play him in the early rounds of the Carabao Cup? Is that what we did?
At Port Vale.
At Port Vale.
Yeah.
It was the only thing I thought about when I saw this. When I was watching this game and when I saw the starting 11, that's the first thing I could think of, and I couldn't think of anything else. I'm with Frank. You play your best players in the big games, and when it comes to Port Vale away, you keep them on the bench so they don't get kicked, hurt, or injured. End of story.
You know, the fact that, I don't want to make it about your personal issues, Stevie, but the fact that Arteta hasn't been starting Eze actually cost you money. Isn't that right?
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
How's that?
Didn't you lose money to Dan because he didn't start Eze? Or...
No, I won the bet. I told him he wouldn't start him.
Oh, you won the bet?
Yeah, I won the bet.
Oh, well, I apologize.
told him.
Hey, my apologies.
No, because
I'm so used to you losing.
Because I know what Arteta's like.
All right.
I said he wouldn't play. I said he wouldn't play him. And of course, Dan did his usual.
There you go. All right.
And that's why I find it ironic that against Man City at home, you try to win the Premier League, Izzy sat on his backside. But then they play Port Vale away midweek, a game that doesn't matter. Guess who starts? Eze. It's just ironic,
and
isn't it?
of course, who scores? A nice goal.
Eze, of course he does.
Clean finish, inside the 18-yard box.
Liverpool won as well yesterday, beating Southampton 2-1 in their Carabao Cup clash with both Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike scoring, but it was the latter who was also sent off. He seemed to forget he was already on a booking when he took his shirt off to celebrate the goal. Well, here's Arne Slot on the situation.
In the first one was already needless and to a certain extent stupid because you have to control your emotions. And I know how hard it is if you play Premier League or every league in the world. If you're number 9, then the defender can almost do everything he wants. And then when you shirt pull a little bit or you push him a little bit, then you get a free kick against you. But it's always the best to control your emotions. And if you cannot control your emotions, do it in a way that it doesn't lead to a yellow card. And then I told him as well, and I said it to numerous media already, if you score in the Champions League final in the 87th minute after outplaying 3 players and hitting it in the top corner, I can maybe understand that you say like, this is all about me, what did I do? But I'm old-fashioned, I'm 47 and old maybe, and I haven't played on this level, but I did score a few goals, and if I would have scored a goal like this, I would have turned around and walked up to, in this situation, Federico Chiesa and say, this goal is all about you. This is not about me. So yeah, needless, not smart. You call it stupid. I call it stupid, by the way, as well.
Stevie.
You got to love that guy. What's not to love about Arne Slot? He doesn't mess around with it. He's not coming out and trying to be the hard man and drive it down Ekitike's throat. He just does things the right way. and says what he has to say.
Yeah.
You know, he's not trying to cover it up. Or, you know, loads of managers would come out and say, well, you know, try and cover it, well, leave him alone, he's only young. And blah, blah. He doesn't do that. He's telling you, I told him it was stupid. I told him what he should have been doing. But he does it in such a way that you don't take offence. And I'm sure Ekitike won't take it as an offence or an offence. So I love the way the guy handles himself. Yes, it was stupid. You can come out with all the words. But I will stick up for him for once. Because I did it with all my players that I coached. They all get one chance to be stupid. The second time they do it, no, they get the hammer. So, Ekitike's done it. He needs to learn from it, because that's what you have to do. We all make mistakes at times, but as long as you learn from it, then it's okay. But you get one chance. And he's in my book, his chances are gone. That's it.
Can I take you into the mind of stupidity from Ekitike and as to what he must have been thinking? Alexander Isak scores his first goal for Liverpool in the first half. And with the arrival of Alexander Isak, Ekitike is looking around, is doing the math and said, wait a minute. I've had a good start with this club. Dumb, stupid, whatever you may want to call it. But that is, I think, the reasoning here, is that he's feeling the presence of the other guy who's just come in, who just scored a goal, and who now is probably going to play ahead of you. And by doing this, Hugo Ekitike, you have probably solidified that decision for Arne Slot, who now, Alexander Isak, go ahead and play. Ekitike, you come and sit right here with me.
Ah, one little blemish.
But see, that's why that one time is okay. Because what you just saw, if all the things Ali's saying are right, what you just saw is a guy. You know, you keep hearing us talking about you need a squad, you need competition for places. That's what you need. This is the nobody wants to play round of the EFL Cup if you play for the big boys, basically. And Ekitike has shown you that it matters, that guy's got an opportunity to maybe get my starting position. So the competition's fantastic. But as long as you don't do stupid things like he did, you get the once and you learn from it. It's perfect. That's what you want at Liverpool. You don't want people stepping on the field thinking, well, it doesn't matter what I do today. I'm playing the next game. That's perfect. That's what you call competition for places.
Do you like how Slot dealt with this, Frank?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I like what Arne Slot said about it, and we all agree that's absolutely needless and stupid, and I said it yesterday. The only thing I disagree with Arne Slot, he said that he's 47 and he's old. You know, I'm 57, so what do I have to think about him being old at 47? But whatever. But the other thing is you know, as Stevie said, you point the thing, you say to the guy, that's the first time and the last time. And Hugo is young. I think he knows deep inside, he knows 100% that he was absolutely stupid to do that. I think he's a clever guy, he's a smart guy, and he has learned that he will never do that again. But I agree with Ali. That's a pity for Liverpool. And it's why Arne Slot said to him something, because the competition doesn't exist anymore, for that game, where he knows that Isak's going to play. And if Isak scores, Isak will carry on playing, and Ekitike will pay even more for that stupid move.
Yeah, we thought we'd let you know as well, Frank, that you're not the only person to get Hugo Ekitike's shirt this season, because his former manager and Southampton manager now, Will Still, did manage to get his hands on one as well. Yeah. Here's what he said about the situation. He said he's a funny lad. We caught him before the game and he said he'd come on and score and then give me a shirt and bugger off, which is exactly what he's done. So he managed him at Rams. Obviously, they've got history there, but that was just a nice, light way to end it. Everyone's had a little bit to say about Ekitike and his shirt off celebration. So we'll see what comes next from Hugo Ekitike. Draw is done, but standing out at the very top there is Liverpool against Crystal Palace in the fourth round, though, this time around, Stevie.
I wouldn't have chosen it, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But definitely that's a standout tie.
Newcastle Spurs also has been picked up there. So this is what we're looking at the moment. Well, you wouldn't have chosen it right now.
No.
It's a bit of a different Crystal Palace this year. It's a bit of a different Liverpool this year.
Yeah, but what's going to happen? I had a look at my wee crystal ball just as you were showing that. Palace are going to play the first team and Liverpool are going to play the reserves. So this could go Crystal Palace's way.
Whoa.
Aye, absolutely.
Whoa.
Aye, absolutely. Crystal Palace, after winning the FA Cup last year, will absolutely want to win either the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. They know they're not winning the Premier League. They know they're not getting in the top 4. So they will be going out to win this. And Liverpool will put out a similar team as they did against Southampton.
Stevie sounds stressed to me, Frank.
So, that's just following what they've done.
Can we agree to disagree? I mean, I was at Wembley when Crystal Palace won against Liverpool, and I think it was a lesson for Liverpool and for Arne Slot. And Slot, I think, will want a kind of a revenge, and I'm pretty sure he's going to put the first team to make sure that he can erase that loss that he got against Crystal Palace in the final at Wembley.
Frank, let me ask you a question. If you're Liverpool's manager and you're sitting top of the Premier League and your goal is winning the Premier League, are you going to play your first team on the Saturday, the Wednesday, because it's Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup, and then have to play them again on the Saturday in order to get so-called revenge for what? For the Charity Shield? I don't think so. Come on.
Stevie, I have another question. When you were playing, did you think about the fact that you played on Wednesday and Saturday, that was a problem for you?
You're forgetting one.
We played like that the whole career long. You didn't care about that.
Frank, what you and I did and how things were done when you and I played, that's not how they do it today. It's a different mentality. You and I, our mentality was, I don't care what cup this is, I'm playing and I want to play and I better play. That's not how it works now. These guys know.
Yeah, but you won everything. Doing that, you won everything.
It doesn't change.
It's possible.
But it doesn't change what's going to happen and what teams do today. I mean, you're
saying that they're all soft, that they cannot play every 3 days because of the system.
I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you that Arne Slot and all these top managers ain't going to play the first team. What's the next round? Is it the 4th round? They're not playing the first team in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup.
Stevie, we're gonna make a short story. I totally agree with you. I'm pretty sure he's not gonna play the first team, and I think it's a pity. It's a pity. That's it.
Yeah, no, it is.
I think it's a pity.
If I may, Stevie.
Sure.
Try to provide a different perspective. I'm going to give you Crystal Palace's perspective. You think they're excited to play Liverpool? You think the draw comes out and they go, yes, we got Liverpool. I don't believe so.
But they will understand that there's a good chance they're playing Liverpool reserves, by the way.
Maybe.
And they want to win the trophy.
Maybe. But the Liverpool reserves, we have talked about how Liverpool has become this team that made all these acquisitions, that brought all these players in. We're talking about some of the best players in Europe that may actually play on that day. And not all of them, but some of them. I look at it from the perspective of Crystal Palace. I'm not sitting back going, man, this is amazing that we get the opportunity to play against one of the best teams in the world. Hey, this is great. What a great chance this is to advance past the 4th round. I don't know. I mean, you sound like if your team is not one of the best teams, if not the best team in the world.
All I said was that Crystal Palace will play the first team and Liverpool won't.
I know, but
quite frankly, let's be honest. If the game was tomorrow and it was Crystal Palace's first team against the team that Liverpool put out against Southampton, you would think Palace are going to win, wouldn't you?
No.
Oh, come on.
Well, I'm rooting for your team. I'm making a case for your team. I don't know why you're so negative on your own team. That Crystal Palace would be excited to play Liverpool.
Frank just sat there and told you they completely gave Liverpool a lesson with their first team. So what chance is the reserve team got?
All right, hey Liverpool, pack it in, Liverpool. This season is going to be terrible for you. Are you kidding me right now?
Manchester United sit 11th in the Premier League table, and as we all know, in recent years their troubles have been well documented. Well, recently ESPN interviewed former Manchester United player Christian Eriksen, who's now at Wolfsburg, and he spoke about his time at United.
You've experienced a lot in your career. You're last club, Manchester United, you joined them at a time which was difficult for the club. You had to experience some highs and lows there. How do you reflect on your time at the club?
No, I think personally I had a great time being at United. I think before I obviously first came to Brentford, back to football, and then after get the chance to play at United was a massive thing. And I also think I proved myself as the football at United. So no, I think I had a really great time. My family loved it there. I'm sure we still have a lot of friends from our time there. And yeah, at the club, I had a good time. It was a strange time because there's a lot of stuff going on at United. It doesn't always go in that way.
How does that perception change for the club going forward? What do they need to do to get back to where they feel they belong?
I don't know. It probably depends who you ask. I mean, if you ask a fan, yeah, they want to be back to winning the league every year for the next 20 years like they did. And obviously that, I think, in this time of football is almost impossible to do that. Hopefully that will change, that they build something that even the Carabao is a small thing, but at the moment is a big thing.
But still, like, it must be weird to feel, hang on, this is not good enough despite the fact we're winning stuff.
Yeah. No, it is. It is very, very different. But that's just United. I mean, it's just the pressure they put on themselves. And the last season, we were still in the Europa League final. It's not like nothing was close, but it's always they always have to be better, which is also good. It also means, you're pushing yourself to the limit every time because you have to. But yeah, I think at the same time you have to be a bit realistic.
But particularly competing with, I guess, the shadow of the former players always giving an opinion, that can't be easy.
No, of course not. I think it's. I think there's at the same time you see how big the club is, how much people want to be involved with the club, even on the media attention. I think even now we're speaking about United here. I mean, it's just the power of the club. But no, obviously the more opinionated and more feelings towards the club are negative, the tougher it is, because the fans obviously follow the heroes on the TV, and it doesn't help the players at the club currently. But at the same time, when you're United, I mean, also as a footballer, there's always someone who has an opinion on one or the other, but you're just playing football. So you try to focus on that bit, and I think United were good at that. Everyone is really at the club is focused on the game itself, and not so much what people say.
Pretty measured stuff from Christian Eriksen there. What stood out to you from what he had to say about his time at United, Stevie?
This guy's got to get into politics. 100% should be getting into Danish politics. I mean, if he had been doing this interview on a fence, he'd have been giving it all this all the way across it. I mean, he's talking about, well, inside the building, we don't really feel the pressure from the outside of the building. What's an absolute, honestly, politician of the year? Because I can assure you, when you are the top dogs and you're at the top of the totem pole and you start sliding down it, you can feel the pressure from outside the building. Because you shut the door doesn't mean you don't feel it. So it's a great interview, great politician, but he's not being completely honest.
I love this obstacle course with the fence and the totem pole that you're sliding down.
Yeah.
But well, the football world and all the newspapers and now social media are absolutely caving in on top of you, and you try to explain that, well, we're in the building and we're just playing football. We don't feel the pressure. No, it was a politician of the year.
I'm impressed of your knowledge of Danish politics.
Well,
and you've delved into Danish politics. I think of all the things that he said, and yes, Stevie, he was straddling that fence. I think the one that stood up to me is the fact that I'm having to talk about Manchester United while I'm here. Yeah. I'm long gone, and you're still asking me about Manchester United. That is how much this shadow sort of cast over this club. It reaches across the continent, gets to Wolfsburg, and still on him. And unbeknownst to him, he was going to have to talk about Manchester United to Archie Ringtod. What a day to be alive if you're a Christian Eriksen.
I mean, it is interesting, isn't it, Frank? You hear that he says that there is always that interest in Manchester United. Wherever you are, he's expected to talk about it. Yeah,
because the history of that club talks, and And even if you are not in the right time, and even if the club is not the club that it used to be, people, they are interested about everything's going on. And even if it doesn't go well, they want to know why it doesn't go well. And I'm with the guys where, and Stevie especially, when he said that it was political. It was more diplomatic, I would say, than anything else. He didn't want to say anything. Eriksen is a well-educated, nice guy, and it's only nice for him to do not say strange things about Manchester United. But I understand him. He doesn't want any story. He doesn't want. He does. What is it? What's the point at the end of the day? It's going to be useless. Everybody knows that Manchester United is not the Manchester United we used to know, and so many stories from inside could come out and just prove that everything goes wrong at Manchester United right now.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing: you can see Christian Eriksen in his new habitat, in his new club, right here on ESPN Plus this weekend. Wolfsburg do have Leipzig.
He's not living in the woods, is he? His new habitat.
Friday, Bayern against Bremen. Kick things off though 2 p.m. Eastern. That will also be available on ESPN2. Had a few struggles this season, but that does take Real Sociedad up to 16th as it stands. Mallorca still down there in the bottom three. Atleti have climbed their way out of the bottom half of the table with their second win of the season. They left it late. It was 3-2 against Rayo Vallecano, and Alex Kirkland did catch up with David Hancko after the game.
David, an incredible game, goals, emotion, drama. How do you sum it all up?
Yeah, like you said, it was an incredible match and amazing, and in the end, I'm so happy that we were able to win this game, and it was such a tough game for us, and not just physically but also mentally, because we were up, we were again playing really well, I think, and then we conceded an incredible goal just before the halftime. Then we felt like, okay, we again missed some chances. Then we conceded, and I was like, what's happening this season? It's not possible what is happening to us. And then we fought till the end, and of course Julian, he showed his incredible quality. But I think all the boys try to prepare him these opportunities, and I'm so happy that we showed the mentality that we can fight till the end, and I'm so happy with the 3 points, and as well with the support especially after the 2-2. Then I felt like, okay, we're gonna win this match, and I'm so happy we did it.
Atleti next up for them, Real Madrid at the Metropolitano, Saturday 9:30 a.m. Eastern. We have you covered for El Derby. Be sure to be with us.
He looked more stressed than happy, by the way.
These are the results since Ange Postecoglou has come in. Obviously, it was a tough start against Arsenal. Then there was the loss to Swansea, a draw against Burnley, this draw here against Real Betis, and in this time they've conceded 9 goals in those 4 games. Stevie and Frank did have their eye on this clash today. Stevie's getting himself all propped up like this. What are you thinking about what you saw, Stevie?
I'm thinking about the chance in the 65th minute that Calawemdo had to kill this game off. And they actually should have killed it off before that. But that would have been the nail in the coffin. But never took it, and they end up losing that late goal to Anthony. And they're disappointed because they absolutely deserved this win. I mean, in terms of performance, it was a great performance away from home against one of the better sides in this competition. So if you want to look at the glass being half empty, you can look at those results and be worried. But if you look at this performance in particular, I mean, this was kind of a hybrid between Espirito Santo and Ange Postecoglou. You know, they were defensive at times, but they tried to play when they got the opportunity. So, listen, if you're Forest, don't be too dejected. They should have won the game. They didn't, but I'm sure they would have taken a point before the ball was kicked.
The glass is half full, Frank. Is it for you with Ange Postecoglou at Forest?
No, it's more half empty for me than half full. And really, I watched the game and I say, wow, first half, nothing to complain about. Nottingham Forest are better than Real Betis. Second half, nothing. We didn't see anything. No consistency, nothing. We saw Anderson, who has been absolutely fantastic the first half, disappearing as well with all his teammates. And we saw Lo Celso, Anthony trying stuff, and they came back. And they came back, but just because of, for me, the Nottingham Forest sloppiness. That's the only reason why. So, yeah, it's half empty for me because it's a point away from them. It should have been 3 points. Yeah. Definitely Nottingham Forest were better than Real Betis.
You know what I've learned today? Well, I knew this already, but I've learned that when it comes to anybody else other than Liverpool, Stevie, far more understanding. Glass half full. When it comes to Liverpool, oh no, we got Crystal Palace. What are we going to do now?
I can't argue.
Yeah, there's nothing in that glass. All right, this is what else we saw in the Europa League today. Roma beating Nice, Celtic with a win over Red Star. Another 1-2. Oh, sorry, with a draw, 1-1. My eyes deceive me right in front of me. But this is what else we saw across the board in the Europa League today. Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. We've got Ale, Stevie and Frank here to answer your questions. Thanks for sending them in. First question is for Stevie.
Okay.
Stevie, how much restraint do you need to show as a manager to not immediately react to a player doing what Ekitike did to get his red cards?
Yeah, you absolutely do. Because you don't want to say the wrong thing. You want to have time to consider how you do it properly and get the message over the way it should be given, as opposed to, you just snap and start screaming and swearing at somebody, because that's the temptation. So yeah, it is very important that you go about it the right way. And we saw Arne Slot on the show, how he went about it. I mean, there was no doubt that he called it stupid and he would told the player it was stupid. So the message was sent to the player in the right way, where the player's going to take it on board and not take the hump at the manager and hopefully learn from it.
You know that you were saying that he's holding it up during the game to say, look, remember me, I'm the one who's been... He could have just done the old role, couldn't he? Why not? Why not just think of that in the moment?
Here's the thing. He shouldn't be doing it, period. Whether it's this or showing the jersey this, as Arne Slot mentioned in the press conference, tap in. My kind of range. No goalkeeper. Empty net, and he was given to you by your teammate. Go to your teammate. Go to your teammate, the guy that provided you the service. Instead, he was busier thinking about, let me make it about myself. And that is the part that, among many of the decisions that he made, that is the part that I find the most regrettable. That you made it about yourself, and whatever point you were trying to make was far more important than your teammate providing you with an assist when you just had to tap it into the back of the net.
Our teammate Frank is joining us. Frank, this question's for you. Frank argued that forwards are the worst five-a-side players and always lose to teams with more defenders. So who would win an ESPN FC five-a-side match of Frank, Stevie, Mario Melchior, Kieran Gibbs and Nadem versus Ale, Jan, Luis Garcia, Hercules Gomez and Mario Kempes, all in their prime?
Frank, would you want me to light it for you?
No chance.
Frank, would you like to light this for you?
Do it. Yeah, go on. Really, it's a waste of time, that question. Of course. No, we're gonna murder them. I tell you.
Wouldn't be close.
That's unbelievable.
It wouldn't be close.
Yeah, my God. I would be. Come on, that would be 8-2, something like that.
Yeah, not close.
But can I make some changes?
Well, you can try.
I haven't seen my team play yet, but I'm dropping Hercules and bringing in Jurgen Klinsmann. And that, elevates us a little bit, makes it a little bit closer. Yeah. But I will say, in a five-a-side, you need defending. You do. You also need a striker that can play with his back to goal. So if you guys will take me, I'll come to your team and I'll set you guys up coming from behind. Just play to me, I lay it off, you guys score, we win, and then the strikers can go their own way.
Can he join your team, guys?
I'm sure we could work something out.
Okay, yeah. But I also can. is Jurgen really coming to play or not? Or are we stuck with Hercules? I just want to know.
A few changes. Can I just get rid of Berg and bring in Jurgen, please?
Well, I'm trying to figure out who would play in the back for us. And, well, it's not going to be Mario Kempes. Jan, I've seen him run. The fish is going to catch him.
The fish, the fish.
Luis Garcia, we'll play Luis Garcia underneath. I'm going to have to play in the back. And I'm guessing Jurgen is going to have to play in the back with me.
Okay, so it's 10-2. It's 10-2. It's not even 8-2.
No, I'll say 8-5. 8-5.
Who's most likely to get sent off on each side? Who do you think would be the feistiest and the fieriest?
Mario Melchior is good for a bad challenge. He's good for a reckless challenge. And then me.
Yeah, but you're only getting sent off if you need to lump somebody. We're not even going to have to lump anybody.
Yeah, I'm coming after you, Steve.
Yeah. In fact, are we allowed to play whilst we're smoking the cigar?
Look, if we happen to be getting destroyed 10-2, as Frank is alleging, somebody's going to get it.
I can't believe it.
Somebody.
I mean, again.
Somebody's going to get it.
Who is going to hurt anybody in that other team?
I'm coming after somebody.
Who's going to hurt anybody?
Kieran seems like a sensible guy. I'll go after
I mean, let's
Kieran.
be honest, Luis, it'd be one of them with Luis. You'd have your hand on his forehead and he'd be like that. He'd be going like that.
I feel like Jan would be a bit nuts. You never know what you're going to get from Jan.
Yeah, he is Norwegian.
Yeah.
Unless the fish is around, then you know he's getting beat. That's all.
That's true. Okay, Frank and Stevie, what was your favourite small ground you played in the League/FA Cup during your time in England, and what was the worst?
Ground you played in the League FA Cup.
So when you play,
well, except the home ground. We agree.
Yeah. Obviously, a team that was smaller than you, that you'd have to go to their ground, that stands out, that you remember.
Please. Frank looks
Come
down
on,
upon
CV,
everybody.
Go first.
Frank doesn't care about all the smaller teams. Are you kidding me?
So certainly when I played, you hated going to any of the small grounds because the field and the ball and everything was rotten. I mean, the field would either be, the grass would be too long or there wouldn't be any grass on it. I mean, the changing rooms would be, like you'd have to actually stand outside and let them take all the gear in because there wasn't enough room to get the gear boxes and the team in. I mean, there was no fun going to any of the small teams whatsoever. But I'd say the one I remember most was not actually when I played for Liverpool, it was when I played for Doncaster Rovers, who were in the 5th tier of English football. And it was the first time that I had ever played in the first round of the FA Cup. And we were playing against Southend United, who were in the league. They were in Division 2. And we went there and won 1-0. It was absolutely fantastic. So I always remember Southend United. It was absolutely brilliant. The absolute worst ever was York City. We played York City in the FA Cup. Liverpool were European champions at the time, and we scraped a draw. I think they were in the old 2nd division. There was frost. I think it was January. It was the 3rd round. The ground was rock hard. There was straw on it because what they'd done is nobody had undersoil heating or anything like that. So they'd covered it in straw like 2 days before,
like a blanket.
Thinking that would save the field. Anyway, they took the straw off, not all of it because there was bits lying about all over the shop, and the ground was like that. And the referee said it was playable. I mean, it was a nightmare. But we scraped a draw and then beat them in the replay. And they were tiny wee side. We were European champions and we scraped through.
It's a beautiful city, though.
Lovely city.
Yeah, not a great.
Shame about the field.
Frank?
The one I remember was, I think, for the FA Cup tie where we played at against Oxford City in Oxford, and it was funny because the field wasn't flat. It was on the side like that. That was crazy. We were playing like a little bit like that. But well, we managed to draw, I think, and to have a regame another game at Stamford Bridge, and fortunately we won. But that was hard. But the worst stadium that I played in, I don't remember the name of the team. Do you know where you have that theme park up north above Blackburn? I forget the name of the city.
Is it Port Vale?
Blackpool, that's what it is. I played in Blackpool. The atmosphere was great. People, fans, they were crazy. The stadium was awful, and I think we just won. But yeah, that was a nightmare, real nightmare.
Blackpool, that theme park.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I've been there, Frank.
At the
It's
theme
not
park?
the posh. I've been to the theme park underground.
all right,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
All right.
Blackpool's a good night out. Yes.
All right. Tell us more,
Yeah.
Kay.
No, I will not.
Blackpool's like going to the zoo.
Yes.
Oh.
I'll just leave it at that.
All right. Wasn't the main reason Arsenal signed Gyökeres to score for them in the big games? He has 0 goals and 0 XG against Manchester United, Liverpool, and Manchester City.
Why are people jumping on this guy?
I don't know. Well, you're not talking about a Liverpool player, so I imagine that you're going to be very lenient. So
Are people being mean, Stevie?
I think they are, yeah.
You would want him to get a little bit more involved than what he did against Manchester City. He seemed to be very ineffective. Now, Manchester City had 1,000 players behind the ball. I get that. There is also responsibility from some of the Arsenal players in not just swinging balls in and allowing him to get on the end or something. But he went very quiet. And when Haaland has gone very quiet under similar circumstances, we have been critical of Erling Haaland. And so I think it's fair to say to Gyökeres, yeah, it was a frustrating match, but would have loved to have seen more of him and from him during that game.
All right.
I think people have been harsh on him.
That wasn't harsh, though. Was that harsh?
No.
Okay.
No. I think that was a gentle reminder.
Okay. Yes.
Stevie, other than Liverpool, which team makes you angry when you watch them play sometimes?
Have you practiced that?
Yeah, I just...
Stevie, other than Liverpool.
Because I imagine he gets so angry when he watches Liverpool. And so I just channeled my inner Stevie watching Liverpool. I think I know one.
What makes me angry?
I know.
Yeah.
I know one. Atletico Madrid.
Correct.
Oh, yes, aye.
Yes.
Yes, Atletico
Exactly
Madrid.
what I was going to say, Ali.
Yeah, I can't deny that.
Even though you're dressed as Simeone tonight.
I'm not a huge fan, yeah. I thought I'd come out in sympathy with Simeone today and dress in black, apart from the tie. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Atletico Madrid.
Why do they make you so mad?
Well, the manager makes me mad. I don't like the antics on the side of the field. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like it. You know when Klopp ran on with Alisson in the derby. I hate that. That's not class. There's no class in that whatsoever. I just don't like it. And then when I watch the team, I think, why are they not playing teams off the park with the ability they have? And then I come back to the manager, because it has to be the manager, the way he sets them up, the way he's in their head, the things he's talking to them about, the way he wants them to do things. So it's kind of frustrating as well watching them. They've got so much talent, but they just never, other than Alvarez, nobody ever seems to use their talent. So you're right.
Ended it on a real high note here.
Yeah, but can I just say, because I know it's apart from Liverpool, but if you ever had the chance to watch Liverpool or watch Stevie while he's watching Liverpool, it's not healthy. No. It's not healthy for Stevie. It really isn't.
Now you know why I was on blood pressure tablets when I was at the Revs. Sat on the sideline, kicking and punching dugouts and. Oh.
And if you try to talk to Stevie about what's going on the game while the game is going on, he can't have a reasonable conversation with you. He just disappears and then comes back, complains about something that just happened, and then disappears again. And where do you go? Well, who knows?
Yeah.
Well, it's not healthy to be around me at times.
No, it is not.
It's not.
No.
Well, only
I'm
when
not
it's
proud
Liverpool.
of it.
Only
I
when
wish
it's
I wasn't
Liverpool.
like that, but
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Yeah, we just stay away from him when it's a Liverpool game. But more to the point, he stays away from us.
Yes, he
when it's a
leaves
Liverpool
and
game.
comes back.
Yes, he does. All right, thank you so much for sending in your questions. Thanks for being with us, Frank. We will be back tomorrow to do it all over again.